Mixed, kind of. There were definitely good parts in the game, but the result is the most important, and that wasn't what we wanted. We didn't get any points, so yeah, it's a tough one, to put in whether it was a positive or negative. But again, it's a tournament style, and we have another game tomorrow, and we know we need points tomorrow. So that's been our kind of message and preparation the last couple of days going into tomorrow.
You know you need points in this one to kind of stay alive in the tournament. How do you approach it? What is I can't imagine you guys went into this game thinking like you got to beat Atletico, but here you are.
Yeah, I think the mindset is we have to go and beat them. It doesn't have to be done in the first 10 minutes. I don't think, we need to right away from the get-go, kind of just be loose and running all over the place. Team like Atletico has quality and they'll punish you, So we'll need to approach the game a little bit like the Botafogo game. We need to be defensively solid, and, I thought other than the two headers and maybe one more chance, we did pretty well against Botafogo. We limited the chances and try to keep the ball, and we'll have to try and do that tomorrow as well. We'll have to definitely score some goals, but we're going to have to be tight defensively, because the attacking quality that they have, could be dangerous if we leave ourselves exposed.
How has this prep for this game been any different than any other game, or is it more similar?
It's pretty much similar like the first game, like the Botafogo game. They're a little bit different than the MLS games, just because it's a tournament style, and depending on your previous result, what kind of you need to do in the next game, so the approach can shift a little bit in terms of that. But other than that, we're going against a top team, but at the same time, we do need a result, and that's what the message is.
Albert, you talked a little bit about the preparation, but can you talk about transition is going to be critical on this? You talked about defense, but what about when you get those chances and then finishing them?
Yeah, I think Atletico has a unique way of playing, and I think even if somebody has never watched a game of soccer, football, would know how they play, if you know what I mean. And it's high energetic. It comes from their coach, and they don't stop running. They run non-stop. They sprint. So that's why I say defensively, we're gonna have to sacrifice. We're gonna have to chase a lot, and we can't just be passing guys on and hope that our back line will deal with everything. But yeah, we're gonna have to be prepared to run a lot tomorrow, just like we did in the first game, and we have to improve on the Botafogo game in some ways if we want to see a result this game.
Set pieces seem to be, when you overall in the tournament, are critical. Just that's the question. How important is that? Defending set pieces and creating set pieces.
Yeah, I mean, we had quite a few set pieces against Botafogo the first game. We were outnumbered in terms of they really had some big boys in there, Botafogo, and it was really tough to kind of win the first contact whenever we had a corner or any set piece. I think that's the one thing that stood out to me the most was that they were really big, and it goes to show they scored two headers. So your question is right. The set pieces will be important on both sides of the ball, and we have gone over some scenarios on defending and attacking. So hopefully tomorrow it will click, and we'll use set pieces to our advantage.
On scoring goals, the importance of a belief, how important is that? Not just to get in that right place, but to say, I'm going to be in the right place and I'm going to score.
Yeah, I mean, I had chances as well first game. I should have done better. And scoring a first goal I think is huge as well in this type of tournament. If you can score the first goal and have them, become a little bit more desperate, and that's what we did, although I feel like that helped us in the first game. When we became desperate and we started to attack more, we actually played better. But yeah, I think first goal tomorrow will be crucial. So we'll have to be switched on in front of the goal when we get the chance to put it in.
Albert, your goal scoring form this season has been important for the team. You're going up against a side that is renowned for a very strong defence. How do you personally prepare for games like this?
Personally, you might just get one chance, whether it's me or anybody else, and I think that could be the difference. Is at the top level, when you get the one chance, you have to convert it, you know. Because team like Atletico, they don't give you, 4 or 5 chances every game. As you said, they're really known for their defense and not giving up a lot of goals. So I think tomorrow we have to be, really switched on and try and put the first one away, honestly. And I think that could unlock a lot of momentum and get the fans on our side and kind of give us the boost that we need, in a game like this.
You mentioned against Botafogo that it was a physical game and they were a lot bigger than yourselves. The game against Atletico will probably be another physical game. Does this similar sort of stature maybe prove advantageous because they're not as big as Botafogo?
Yeah, I mean Botafogo is really, solid players. I mean, they had some really big, the big guys, but it's gonna be maybe not exactly the same this game, but kind of similar style. But we have to play to our advantages. Our advantage is not to play long balls and go up for headers and stuff like that. We have to be really good with the ball and take care of the ball. No sloppy turnovers that could lead into another strength of theirs, that is counter-attacking. So yeah, it's really small details, and I think small details have decided the first game that we have played. And if there's anything that we take from that first game is try and limit those little mistakes that we made that cost us goals, and that will give us a better chance to come out with a positive result.
Albert, Atletico Madrid is a powerhouse in world football. What are the main strengths of that team you're going to face tomorrow?
Yeah, I think really good defending, counter-attacking, and individual quality, right? I mean, we don't need to name every single player, but they have a lot of guys with individual quality that can change the game at any given moment. So yeah, more than ever tomorrow we have to play as a team, and it will take 11 guys to defend and 11 guys to attack to get a result.